Hello guys, it's Donald
And Lorna.
so today we wanted to actually run through a story with you guys. So you just got your first investment in real estate. So question for you, should you go outside and just accept every tenant that applies to your unit? Is there a better way? Is there any risk accepting every tenant? So today we wanted to take the time to look at this aspect with you guys. So first question I'm going to be asking you guys. Would you feel comfortable having a tenant staying in your unit and not paying for a month, 2 months, or 3 months? Usually the answer is no. So what you want to do, you want to limit your risk. So we're gonna go through our process, which is not the only one. You guys can have yours, but we're gonna go through our process, how we select our tenant. Lorna?
So there you go. So first of all, I think it's very important to have a process. So you just take out the emotion out of it and you have a way to do it that you know that is safe because you tried it before, or you know you can improve it every time to have the perfect process for you. So our process is about having a background check on every tenant. First of all, put the we put everything online. So we have pictures, we have a big description, because the more information that you put on your ad, the less people are going to call for nothing.
So a very detailed description of the ad.
Yeah,
Good.
Very detailed description of the ad.
I'm learning.
That's one thing. I do the ad part. So you look in your neighborhood, what are the high tools that people are using, and where does the client go to reach your information? Is it Kijiji? Is it Facebook Market? Is it another website that works really good in your neighborhood?
Craigslist, for example.
Craigslist, whatever works in your area. And then you put very nice pictures. Make sure that you take good picture with a good light, good angle. Everything is clean in your picture, everything is well arranged, and then you put it online.
All right, so if I go back and summarize things, two tricks that you've given. Number one is to have a detailed listing. So explain everything that you're offering and put all the details that the potential renter would need. Number two, have great pictures taken and uploaded to your ad. Thank you.
My pleasure. So then the next step would be to have an interview by the phone. Why would you book an appointment, go over there, wait for the person if they come, to have someone that is not looking for what you're offering?
But it sounds tedious. An interview, isn't that too
Yes.
complicated? What kind of question should you be asking someone?
Actually, it's very simple. You just want to know, you want to know many things actually, but mainly you want to know, are you comfortable dealing with that person if something happens? Because at the end of the day, if you need to negotiate something with your tenant, you want to make sure you're comfortable calling them, dealing with them. Are they polite? Do they seem like they're rough or aggressive on the phone?
So someone who's asking if he can bring a dog and you're saying no and saying, why would you not let my dog come? That's,
Already,
no, that's not good.
You know you might be fighting with that person and you don't want that.
So that trick is actually very interesting. So call the person up and have a casual conversation to see what they're looking for. Ask them why they're moving. I think that's a very important question. And usually people have either made up reason for you, or you catch them off guard and they'll tell you up front. I don't know. They were roommates and they're not comfortable with them, or they're moving from their parents, or they're young professional like you guys, and they're looking for a place to start.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason, you want to know.
And let's say you want to rent rooms in an apartment that you adapt, let's say for students. Well, right away, if it's a person that is not in your category of clientele, well, you can tell them, I'm looking for that type of clientele because that's the vibe that's going to be around, and you want to make sure, like a business and or a team, you want to make sure everyone fits together and can be happy together.
That's the reason that the reason behind that is that you want to mitigate or you want to reduce the conflict potential. Especially if you're doing if you're renting an apartment and rooms. So, for example, you have 2 tenants, 3 tenants, or 4 tenants and higher. You want to make sure that they will be able to live together in a certain harmony. So you want to have students that have things in common. For example, if they're all studying, they all have midterms, they all have finals. If they're all students, for sure, you would know that they will be a bit more, I would say, discreet, not too much noise during that type of period, because they're also 2 students themselves and they're studying. But if you have 2 students with a young party goer, of course, it's not because he's a bad person. It's simply because he's in a different part in his life, and for that reason, there might be conflict. So you want to reduce that and have a homogenic type of clientele.
Yeah. So that's some things that you can look through the phone call. And then if you feel comfortable giving the address to that person, well, you organize a meeting. And I recommend all the time to do, let's say, okay, we have visits on Thursday at 6 o'clock and a visit on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
So you give them your availability, I would say,
as a group. You want them to come like many person at the time. So if 1 or 2 person is not coming, it's okay. You're still gonna have other people coming, and you're not gonna go there for nothing.
That's true. We had that experience before when we started. We wanted to be a bit more lenient around people, and we fitted our schedule to theirs. But the problem is, if you're placing a unit on the market, you would have for sure 20, 30 calls. You would have to answer all of those. If you accept everyone, that is 20, 30 visits scheduled. It doesn't mean that they will show up. It happens very often that we showed up, we're waiting around. Either the person called us on the spot saying they're not coming, or they didn't even call us at all, and we stayed and waited for nothing. So you want to be able to group them together, not all of them at the same time, but space them between like 15 minute periods, and that will assure you that you'll have a couple of person for that showing that day.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you go on the spot and you have those appointments with these people, you make sure that they are informed that there is a fee of, let's say, $40, $45 for the background check.
So all the fees should be disclosed to your potential tenants up front. That is just a better way to do business. If you already know that you have fees, it's much more open, and your client might be a bit more forthcoming afterwards. If you already, as a tenant, as a landlord, hiding fees, hiding stuff around, then of course you have a relationship that is starting on the wrong foot, and you might have more problem in the long run.
Exactly. And you want to know, like, if the person is arguing or they're saying, oh no, I don't want to pay those fees, or you should be paying those fees, and you just know right away, like, when there will be a little something, you might be fighting for $40. Well, you know what, it might be difficult if something happened to the person. Are they going to pay their rent? Are they going to be fighting for a little $20 or something like that? So you kind of know right away.
Exactly. So after that, the next step after the showing, of course, you run the background check. You have the result. We always call our potential tenants and we inform them of all the information that we found. Some of them have actually had good reasons for whatever was on their file. And after that, it comes to you and your partner, in our case, to make an informed decision as, am I comfortable having this person? For example, if the background check comes out clean, there's no reason, there's no question, you can offer him the place. But if it comes out with little problems or issues in the past, and that person seems to have redeemed themselves or changed, or you have or you have other guarantees, then you'll be okay. What we mean by that, we had tenants that were young students, and in their past they actually didn't pay certain debts. That will show up. Or they had problem with their last landlord, that will also show up. So for that reason, if we felt that that person was honest and could be a good tenant to us still, we would ask for a guarantor, meaning that someone else would have to co-sign the lease with them, and that person should have, and you have to check, a good background themselves. Meaning that if you have problem with that tenant, then the guarantor of that lease would be reliable.
Yeah,
liable. Sorry.
Yeah, you want to have that double security, especially when the file is not complete, or have little tricks in it that you want to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you a chance, but you know, just to make sure like my back is covered every month, I want to have that double person signing.
Perfect. So if we summarize things, so number one, look in your neighborhood, look at the market that you have. Okay. First trick was?
So the first trick is to have very nice pictures.
With a detailed listing?
Yes. And the second trick would be to have a very detailed listing on a website that is working around in your neighborhood. And
number three was to have a short phone call interview with your tenant.
Absolutely. And then we do a kind of a group visit. So 10-15 minutes in between each visit. So in function of your schedule and not their schedule.
And lastly, to make an informed decision, and if needed, to ask for someone to co-sign the lease. So thank you guys. This video was a little longer than usual, but we believe that is packed with useful information. So have a good one.
Make sure you like the video and subscribe.
Thank you.